today by reading our little quote. I kind of forgot last class. So again, this is from the Dalai Lama. While engaging in material progress and taking care of physical well-being, we need to pay equal attention to developing the peace of mind. So kind of noticing that as you're taking care of yourself today, just kind of notice what's happening in the mind as well, because we're going to do a familiar sequence if you were here with us last time. And just notice where the mind goes. Notice if it gets a little critical. Notice if it gets maybe a little bored. It's like, I've been here, done that, I want something new. And just see if you can kind of start to bring peace with that. Be like, okay, I recognize I'm bored, but I'm here today and I'm going to make what's best. Or, yes, this is hard today. And okay, it's hard, but I'm going to make best with that. Right? So just kind of notice what's happening in the mind and try to keep it peaceful as we move through our sequence today. Let's go ahead and gather down into your sit bones, lengthen up through the spine, maybe even draw the head slightly back. Allow the hands to rest on the thighs, either palms down or palms up, whatever feels best to you. And then take a nice deep inhale in. And sigh it out. Allowing yourself to come into the room, onto your mat, and into your body. Connecting with your surroundings, acknowledging anything around you that might become a distraction, and invite it to be part of your practice today. Allowing it to be less of a distraction, and allowing yourself to be more present with your body on your mat. So then start to scan over the body, check in, acknowledging those areas in your spine that might feel a little, maybe different sensations today from the last practice. Just take inventory of the side waist, the hips, the shoulders, the neck. All those areas along the spine that we're going to use again today. Just be mindful of those areas that are a little tired or a little stiff. But then also keep in mind those areas that you might need to or be able to find a little bit more expansion in. And then take a nice deep inhale here. And sigh it out. And start to turn your attention to your mind. Check in mentally, emotionally, acknowledging where you are today, in the mind, in the thoughts. No judgment, just acknowledging them. And if you can, try to let them go. Allow yourself to focus on your breath and your movements while you're here on your mat today. And take another deep inhale. And let it go. Start to bring the attention to your breath. Noticing the inhales and exhales through the tip of the nose. You start to bring your awareness to your breath. Start to set an intention for your practice today. What brought you to your mat? Setting that intention to allow it to guide you through your practice today. As you start to move, as you start to breathe deeper, allow that intention to take form in the mind's eye. Try to equal out and smooth the breath. It doesn't have to have any Ujjayi breath yet. It can just be nice, deep, equal parts breath of your inhales and exhales matching one another. Just noticing what happens in the body as you start to breathe more even and more deep. Building that body awareness. And allowing the hands to come in front of your heart, maybe cupping your heart. And we'll set that intention as we open the practice with one Om or a final sigh of the breath. Exhale fully. Take a nice full inhale. Hold. Allowing the hands to come back down to the thighs. And on your exhale, allow your eyes to open as your chin comes toward your chest. And then as you inhale, roll your right ear to your right shoulder. And as you exhale, chin to chest. So start to connect breath and movement. Inhale to the left. And exhale to center. Inhale to right. Exhale to center. Inhale to left. And exhale to center. Inhale, lift the chin all the way up. Look up. Exhale, follow the path as you draw chin to chest. So your eyes are going to move with your vision. So inhale, look along the way, all the way up to the ceiling. And then exhale, use those eyes all the way, so chin to chest. One more time here. Inhaling, looking up. And exhaling, looking down. As you inhale, bring your head to center, and then take your hands and you're going to place just one hand on your forehead, and you're going to provide a little resistance. We're going to work on some neck strength. So press your head into your hand, resist your head with your hand. So you're going to find a little bit of engagement on the back side of your neck. So draw the head back a little bit more so shoulders and ears are kind of in line. So then just press, breathing here. Noticing those sides of the neck. Sometimes we have neck pain because it's weak, not because it's tight. So it's good to do some neck strengtheners. And then exhale, release that hand down. Take the opposite hand, bring it to your forehead. And again, apply pressure on the forehead, resist head and hand once against one another. So isometric contraction. Taking nice deep breaths, noticing where you might have a little tension, where it might feel like it's getting a little work. Take one more breath here. Hold to exhale. And then go and release that hand down. So just kind of notice the effects of that on the neck. And now we're going to go the opposite direction. So you're going to interlink your hands, your fingers, and take your hands behind your head. So you're cupping your head. So your fingers are wide, you're cupping your thumb pads around your heads. And then draw your elbows forward, and then press the head back into the hands again as you're resisting those hands forward. So now you're going to feel a little bit more maybe on the front side of your neck as well as the back side. Squeeze elbows in so you have a little bit of shoulder action. And now take those thumbs, find the base of your head and lift up through the base of your head. So you're squeezing, you're pulling back, pushing forward, and lifting and lengthening the neck. Good, take another breath here. Hold to exhale. As you inhale, release the hands, and exhale there. Good, just kind of notice the effects. We're gonna do that one more time. Interlink the hands, take that opposite thumb on top, so the way that might feel a little awkward. And then find the hands at the back of the head. Again, I like to start with my thumbs going down my neck. And then inhale, draw the elbows forward. Exhale, press head into hand, hands into head. So resisting one another. And then grabbing with your thumbs the base of your skull, lengthen and draw those elbows up to find a little bit more length and extension in the neck. Good, so elbows are drawing in. Lifting up through the chest, lifting up through the top of the head. Take one more big inhale, like you're trying to make yourself grow taller. Hold to exhale. Good, as you inhale, release the arms. And exhale, notice that sensation. Good, we're gonna start on our backs again. So again, I'm gonna face you this time, so you're gonna start all the way on your back. We're gonna do those spinal rotations from the back. Take a block or a blanket and place it between your thighs. That's just going to help keep your hips neutral. So you don't want to try to move your hips. You want to try and move your arms or your upper back. We're getting into the mid-back here for some rotation. So press into the feet, squeeze the block. Arms are wide. You're laying down on your back. Good. As you inhale, you're going to take that left arm, reach it up to the ceiling. So lift the shoulder up. And then exhale, rotate over toward the right so your left hip stays on the floor. Inhale, brings it back to center, and exhale down. Right side, inhale, lift up to the ceiling first, and then exhale, rotate over to the left. Inhale, reaches up, exhale down. So your hands may not touch. Inhale, left arm up, reach. Exhale, rotate through the upper back. Inhale, reach. Exhale down. Right side, inhale, reach. Exhale, rotate. You're gonna feel your core a little bit here. Inhale, reach. And exhale down. Inhale, reach up with the left. Exhale, over to the right. Inhale, reach up. Exhale down. Last side, inhale, reach right arm up. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, reach up. And exhale down. Good, go ahead and release that block. Pause there for a moment. Just notice the effects in the shoulders and the upper back. This is the next one. We're working a little bit of core, also moving the spine. So we're gonna come into eagle arms. If eagle arms isn't accessible to you, you're gonna interlink your fingers and press your elbows together. So that could be a little bit more accessible to you. Just bringing the idea of bringing those elbows together. If you can, eagle arms. So left elbow on top of the right. And then take your right leg over your left. And then as you inhale, lift the knees. As you exhale, elbows toward your knees, curl up. Inhale, lengthen back, reach the fingers toward the top of your mat. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen back. Exhale, round, so a little curl up, but in eagle position. Inhale, lengthen, so we're getting a little bit more of the spine and the upper back. Exhale, round. Good, one more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round and hold. Can you get those elbows and knees closer or even touching? Good, can you point the toes? Can you point through the fingers? Good, take one more big inhale. And exhale, release it down. Arms go wide. Unbind the legs and pause there. We have a second side. Taking that right leg, nope, left leg over the right. And then this time your right arm on top of your left. Or hugging those elbows together if you can't quite do eagle. Good, and then inhale, lift the legs. Exhale, elbows toward knees. Inhale, lengthen, find a little lift in the low back. Exhale, press the low back to the floor as you round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. This time to hold. Inhale, lengthen. And as you exhale, round and hold. Point through the toes. Lift up through those elbows. Really press that low back down. One more big inhale. Hold to exhale. Inhale, release it out. And exhale, pause on your back. Good, take a moment there. And then your choice, either roll to one side to press yourself up or hug your knees into your chest and start doing little rock and rolls all the way up and over to hands and knees. So we do a couple rounds of cat-cow here. That always gets the spine. So ground down into those hands. As you inhale, belly drop, shoulders roll back, gaze goes up. Exhale, press and round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Two more times. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, round. Last time here. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, round. Good. Inhale comes to neutral spine. And as you exhale, straighten those legs, find your plank. Ground down into your plank. Good, pausing there. And then imagine you're gonna draw those thumbs toward one another. Drawing heels of hands to your toes, toes to your heels of your hands. Tailbone lengthens down. So finding that core that we just worked. Pretty easy to find after that work. Gonna take another inhale here. Exhale. Inhale brings the knees down. As you exhale, place those hands one hand width in front of where they are now. So we're gonna do what's called a wide plank. So we're gonna go a little bit longer in our plank. If it's too much from your toes, you can drop to your knees. So now straighten your right leg, keep your shoulders behind your wrists, and then your left leg. Good, power up those arms. Good, draw those shoulder heads back, and then draw the shoulder blades wide. Draw into the belly so tailbone lengthens down. Engage the core. Now imagine you want to draw your hands and your toes toward one another. Pull on that front core. Good, take another big inhale here. Exhale. Good, as you inhale, knees down. Exhale, hands walk back. Good, and then from there, downward facing dog. Take a couple moments in your downward dog, pedal the feet. Grow long in the sideways, so finding a little bit of extension through the arms, through the back. Taking your time, take 1 or 2 more breaths here. And then exhale fully. As you inhale, slightly come forward to plank. Press down into those hands, draw the shoulder blades wide, keep the length in the upper back, and then lift the hips back so you have more extension in the spine. Now press down and forward into those hands. Imagine the hips going up and back, and then you might even need to bend the knees a little bit so you can find more length in your side waist. So a lot of extension in the spine here. See if you can bring your head so it's equal with your head between your arms. One more big inhale here. And exhale. Inhale, puts a little bend into the knees. And as you inhale, start to walk those hands back toward the feet. Once your feet are firmly on the ground, let yourself just dangle over your knees. Can you let that spine grow even longer? Even find a little rounding in the upper back. So you're trying to increase the distance between your vertebrae, let gravity take over. Let your head dangle. If it feels good, maybe take those hands behind the back, interlink the fingers, and reach those arms up toward the ceiling, drawing those shoulder blades onto the back closer to one another. Keep the bend in the knees so you're growing long in the spine. Exhale fully. Inhale, releases those hands all the way to the floor if they're not there already. Exhale there. As you inhale, bring your hands to knees or shins, lengthen out nice long spine. Imagine you're doing a little bit of a back bend. You're doing that little cow pose. Draw the shoulder heads back, heart forward. So working the upper back, working the spinal muscles. And then maybe your hands hover off your knees. Knees can be as bent or straight as you need to take the hamstrings out of it. If you want more of a hamstring stretch, engage those legs, lift up through the low belly. We're focusing mostly on the spine today. And then take those arms, maybe reach them back behind you. And then turn the palms down. Good, so a little external rotation with the arms. You're gonna notice those shoulder blades drop together. Good, take another big inhale, roll the shoulders back. Imagine you're doing a little cow pose. Exhale. Put a little bend into the knees as you inhale, stand up, reach up. And as you exhale, grab onto the right wrist. Take an inhale, lengthen the spine, and then exhale, lean it over to the left. A little lateral flexion extension here of the spine. Take another inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, takes the arms up. Exhale, grabs onto the left wrist. Take an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lean it to the right. Tailbone drops. Left shoulder draws up. Another inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reaches the arms up. And as you exhale, hands to heart. Good. Coming toward the middle of your mat. Finding your feet about hip distance apart. We're going to get into lengthening our spine a little bit more, getting into those hip creases. So bend your knees like you would in chair. And then again, you're going to take the heels of your hand into the hip crease up at the top of your hip. So right below your hip bone, you're going to press that in, press it down. And as you press down, you're going to lift the chest up. So you're having this length of the spine. So you're finding some gravity and some extra push with your arms, and then you're lifting up against that with your shoulders and the top of your head. Just notice how that feels. And then trying to keep that length, take an inhale there. As you exhale, slide your hips into, or your thumbs into your hip creases, pinch your outer hips, and then start to lengthen forward. Keep the shoulders back. Good, just until you find your hamstrings engaged, and then pause. Good. Keep that engagement in the legs. Maybe reach the arms back again. Palms rotate down, thumbs out. Good, take another inhale. Exhale. Good, as you inhale, bring those hands back to your hips. Exhale, bend the knees, find your heels of your hands into your hip creases. Roll the shoulders back, sit a little deeper. So depending on your arm length, your arms might be totally straight or they might be bent like mine. Good. Shoulder heads back, imagine lifting up to the top of your head. Take another inhale. And as you exhale, press to stand. Relax the arms. Good, taking those arms by your side. So elbows are gonna be in like you're holding a platter. So elbows squeeze in. Hands are acting like you're holding a platter. Without your elbows moving from your side, draw your thumbs out toward the side. Because you're drawing those shoulder heads toward one another, shoulder heads into the socket as your shoulder blades draw back. Good, so this is a nice strengthener for upper back. Nice strong back is a healthy back. Good, can you lengthen up through the neck and draw your chin slightly back? Good, take another breath here. Spread through the fingers. Exhale. Good, inhale brings the hands back to center. And exhale, release. Good, half sun salutation. I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see. Rounding down as you inhale, reach the arms forward and up. As you exhale, forward fold. Hands to blocks. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, refold. Press down into those legs. Reach the arms up and forward. Bring them up. And exhale, hands to heart. Okay, we're going to do one more of those. The reasons we're reaching forward is to find more length in the spine and more strength in the spine. So grounding out, exhale fully. Inhale, takes those arms up. Exhale, lengthen forward, bend the knees if you need. Inhale, lengthen hands to knees or shins, find that little cow pose. Exhale, fold, bend the knees if you need. Press into the legs, reach the arms forward and up. And exhale, hands to heart. Good, adding in some lunges here. Inhale, reach those arms up and forward. Exhale, lengthen forward. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, left foot stays forward, right foot steps back. Good, so coming up into a high lunge. Inhale, lifts those arms up and forward. And exhale. Good, as you inhale, draw your elbows down in front of you and see if you can bring those pinky edges and elbows toward one another. Even if you can't quite get there, imagine you're getting them together. Good, and then try to separate just the pinkies. Okay, getting into that upper back. Keep powering up the back leg, maybe even bend into the knee to get into that right hip. Take another inhale. Exhale, fingers together. Inhale, reaches those arms up. Exhale, hands to floor. Inhale, long spine here. And as you exhale, take the right foot, step it forward. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, long spine. As you exhale, step the left foot back. Right foot stays forward. And then sweep the arms up and pause. Good, draw in through the belly. Good, and again, bring those elbows down in front of you. Bring elbows toward one another, pinkies toward one another. Good, so you're opening up the upper back, finding some strength by pressing those forearms together. And now draw just your pinkies away. Find a little bit of strength in the rotator cuff. Good, a little bit more openness in the upper back to allow for spine mobility. Good, another big inhale here. Draw your head back. Exhale. Inhale, draw the hands together. Exhale, hold. Inhale, reaches those arms up. And exhale, hands to floor. Inhale, long spine. As you exhale, left foot steps forward. Inhale, lengthen, hands dangle. Exhale, fold. Inhale, takes the arms forward and up. And exhale, hands to heart. Adding on, going a little bit lower. Inhale, takes those arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, long spine, hands to knees or shins. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step it back, downward facing dog. Good, take an inhale and downward dog. Exhale to plank. Take an inhale and plank. Exhale, lower knees or toes all the way to the floor. Keep the shoulder heads lifted. And then reach the arms back behind you. Rotate palms down, thumbs out, and ground the toes. Good, activate those legs, roll the shoulders back. Good, take another inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, keep the shoulder heads lifted, place the hands by the side. Exhale, tuck the toes, press back in knees. Hips to heels, find an extended child's pose around the spine. Take an inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, shifts forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Find that length in the sideways. Lengthen the spine. Inhale, right leg lifts to the ceiling. Exhale, heel to bum, open it up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw knee to nose. Pause there, press into the hands around the spine. Take one more full inhale. And as you exhale, step the foot forward. Good, back knee's gonna drop. Press down, reach the arms up and to the first, forward and up. Drop the tailbone. Good, find a little bit more hip stretch. And then cactus arms. Good, finding those cactus arms. Opening up the chest, draw those shoulder blades onto the back, but keep pulling in through those low ribs. Good, big inhale here. As you exhale, rotate to the right, keep those shoulder heads in line. So use your abdominals, use those obliques, those abs on the side to rotate through the chest. Can you keep that left shoulder head or shoulder blade on your back? Another inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rotates to center. Exhale, hold. Inhale, reaches you up. As you exhale, right hand down, left arm over, find a side stretch. Inhale, brings the arms back up. Exhale, hands to floor. Straighten the back leg, step it back to plank, and then downward facing dog for a moment. Inhale, left leg reaches to the ceiling. Exhale, heel to bum, open it up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw knee to nose. Pause there, draw everything in and up around the spine. Take another inhale, press with the hands. And exhale, left foot forward. Right knee down. Inhale, sweeps those arms up. Exhale, relax the shoulders. Inhale, find those cactus arms. Shoulder blades draw toward one another. Low belly draws in. Good, finding the strength of the upper back here. Take another inhale. Can you draw your head back slightly? And as you exhale, rotate to the left. Use your core muscles. So that right shoulder is going to want to go really far forward just so you can twist. Can you keep your shoulder heads in line? Good. Can you actually look at your right shoulder? Make sure your right shoulder and right elbow are still in line. Good. Take another inhale. Exhale. Inhale comes to center. Exhale, hold. Inhale, reach up, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, hands down. Inhale, steps you back to plank. Exhale, lower knees or toes all the way to the floor. Keep those shoulder heads lifted, so shoulder blades drawn to the back. And then this time, take the arms like cactus here. Ground down through the toes. And then inhale, reach the arms forward any little bit. And then exhale, draw them back like you're doing a pull-up. Good, and then pause there. Good, back of the head lifts, elbows lifts, paw, or back of hands lift. Keep grounding the toes. One more big inhale. Hold to exhale. Inhale, keep the shoulder heads lifted, hands by the side. Exhale, tuck the toes. Inhale, push back. Exhale, downward dog. Go through child's pose, wherever you need, leading up, downward facing dog. Exhale, fully. Inhale, takes that right leg lifted to the sky. Exhale, heel to bum, open it up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw knee to nose, and step that foot forward. Good, back heel is going to come down for warrior two. Go ahead and bring yourself up, find warrior two. Good. Press down into the feet. Lengthen up through the spine. Good, nice full breaths here. And then from here, turn your palms up. Good, and then from here, take the arms up to the ceiling and turn your palms forward. Find length in the spine. Good, big inhale. Imagine you're gripping the floor. Exhale. Find that little cactus arms. Good, take an inhale there. Exhale, reach through the arms. Find length from fingertip to fingertip, front to back. Big inhale here. Exhale. As you inhale, straighten that front leg just a little bit, bring your hands to your hips. So doing that little pelvic tilt, so we're going to some lateral twists here, or some lateral work. So you're going to take that right hip, draw it up. So you're going to press into that left hip, right? Because when we do a reverse warrior, we tend to come from a little angle. So lift that left hip, or sorry, right hip, left hip draws in, and then bend back into that right knee. So you're going to feel a deeper stretch on that inner groin of that left thigh. Good, keep lifting up that right hip. Keep drawing the right knee out, engage that right hip. And then right arm comes forward. And then lean it back. Keep pushing into that left hip. Find length in the sideways. Some compression in the left. Good, keep opening it up. If you want to make it a little bit more challenging, maybe you find a bind with that back hand, but keep lifting up that right hip point. Good, 2 more breaths here. Keep the action of the legs as much as you are in the arms. Exhale fully. Inhale comes back to warrior 2. Exhale, find side angle pose. So last time we did elbow to knee. Maybe you can go down a little bit deeper, hand to blocker floor on the inside. Maybe you grab your ankle. Top hand's going to start on the top of your leg. Roll the shoulders back. Good, and then from here, you're going to take that front arm, reach at the direction you're looking, and up overhead. So see, that finds more length in the side waist. Good, roll the shoulders back. Can you draw those shoulder heads toward one another? Good, and maybe bend a little deeper in that front knee. Awesome, take one more big inhale. Exhale. Inhale, top arm up. Exhale, looking down. As you inhale, press yourself up. Warrior 2. Exhale. Inhale, cartwheels those hands to the floor. Exhale, step it back, downward facing dog. Everybody, inhale, roll forward to plank. Exhale, lower knees or toes all the way to the floor. Keep those shoulder heads lifted. Good, ground to the toes. Hands will be by the side. Just a little baby cobra. Press into the hands. Pull heart forward. As you press in with those hands, draw them back. Good, shoulder head squeeze back. Take another inhale. And exhale, lower. Tuck the toes. Press back knees or toes all the way downward facing dog. Take a full inhale there. And exhale. Inhale, left leg reaches. Exhale, heel to bum. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, slowly draw knee to nose and step that foot forward. Finding Virabhadrasana 2. Bring those hands up. And be happier in warrior 2. Yay. Good, grounding down to those feet. Open up the arms. Good, big inhale here. Reach those arms up. Palms face forward. Imagine you're gripping a big ball in front of you. As you lengthen up through the arms, sink down into those hips. Finding length in the spine. Big inhale here. Exhale, find those cactus arms. Good, lower belly in, shoulder blades onto your back. Reach through those arms, find warrior 2. Gaze over your front fingers. Big inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, hands to your hips. Exhale, straighten that front leg slightly. Right hand into your right hip, lift up to that left hip point, and then bend back into that front knee. So equalizing that pelvis. Good, and then keep pressing on that right hip to keep that engagement. Left arm comes forward, and left arm leans back. Reverse warrior. Good, find lift from that hip all the way to your armpit. Find that compression on the right side, and feel the length on the left side. If you can keep that engagement of that right hip tipping in, maybe your hand finds your low back. Good, 2 more breaths here. Exhale fully. Inhale comes back, warrior 2. As you exhale, find your side angle pose. So either elbow to thigh, hand to blocker floor, or maybe grabbing your ankle. Right hand's down on your hip. Roll the shoulder blades back, and then take your arm forward and up, overhead. Rotating the chest toward the right, pressing into those legs, and then lengthening through the sideways. Good, nice full rest. Your gaze can go up to your top hand. Maybe it looks under your armpit. Maybe it looks down to the ground. One more full inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, top arm reaches. Exhale, looking down. Use those legs as you inhale. Press yourself back up, warrior two. Exhale. Good, as you inhale, cartwheel those hands to the floor. Exhale, step it back, downward facing dog. Nice full inhale there. Exhale. Inhale, shifts the weight forward, plank. Exhale, lower knees or toes all the way to the floor. Keep the shoulder heads lifted, come to Sphinx. Press down into those hands, press down into the elbows, lengthen the toes back. Grip the floor with your hands and draw your heart forward as your elbows draw back to your hips. Good, take an inhale there. Exhale. Working still a little bit more on that core, bring your hands together. Press those pinky edges and wrists into the floor. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, lift your knees, forearm plank. Good, draw in through the low belly, spread those shoulder blades apart. Nice big inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, knees down. Exhale, hips down. Press down into the mat again, ground the toes. Inhale, heart opens. As you exhale, keep the heart up, slide those hands back. Tuck the toes, press it back, downward facing dog. Nice full inhale. And exhale. Inhale, shifts the weight forward, plank. As you exhale, let your left knee drop. Left knee is gonna turn so that your left foot's off your mat. Right heel is gonna drop. So coming into a modified side plank. If you need a block or something underneath your left hand to feel a little bit more length in the spine, you can level that up, right? So grounding down is that top leg. Take the top arm up, and then take that top arm overhead. Find some reach. Good, if you have full side plank in your practice and you want to straighten that bottom leg to match the top leg, you have that in your practice, please go for it. We're finding a little bit of lift up through that side waist. Good, take another big inhale. Maybe that top hand finds the outside of your left side of your head, and then you lean the head down to bring a little bit more side waist work. Inhale, top arm reaches. Exhale, you're gonna press yourself all the way up. Good, so we're gonna come into that gate pose. So if you need any padding under your left knee, please do so. And then remember how we did before, so our hips are kind of fixed here and it's gonna be hard to lean to the right. So we're gonna take those right toes, draw them up. Take that pelvis, your right hip, and you're gonna draw it down as your left hip draws out. And then start to walk that hand down the leg. Maybe your hand rests on the block or the floor behind your calf. Open up the shoulders, press your hips forward, and then maybe take that top arm straight up. If it feels okay, take it overhead, but keep reaching through the fingers. Good, keep pressing down into that right heel, drawing that right hip back, finding that inner thigh stretch. For those that do have more accessibility, maybe that top hand, you're able to reach your bottom foot, maybe. Good, take another inhale. Exhale. Inhale, top arm reaches. Exhale, press yourself up. Good, as you inhale, bring those hands to the floor. And you're gonna switch, you're gonna take your right knee in, take your left leg out, and bring your right hand to the floor, finding that side modified plank. Good, press the hips forward, engage through the core, and then take that top arm overhead. Good, extend through the fingers, round through that upper back. Good, so we're still working on a little bit of lateral extension and flexion through the spine, so side bending. If you have full plank and you want to go there, you're just straighten that bottom leg, place it behind the front leg, and then really lift those hips up. So you're using that core. Breathe. Good, 2 more breaths. If your top leg is, or your bottom leg is straight, bend it. And then inhale, top arm reaches. As you exhale, press yourself all the way up. Good, just so you can be on that right knee, and then turn the left toes up. Good, and then take your left hip, drop it down as your right hip presses out. And then start to lengthen that left hand down, either to the shin or behind the shin. Press the hips forward, keep drawing that right hip out, and then maybe top arm reaches. If it feels okay, top arm's gonna reach overhead as you keep pushing into that left heel. Keep the hips pressing forward so you're opening up the front body and the side body. Gonna take one more full inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, top arm reaches. Exhale, comes back to center. Good, go ahead and bring those hands down. Draw that knee in. And then from here, we're gonna come into Malasana, that low squat. So lift the hips, drop the heels. If you need to rest your feet on something, please do. So if you don't have that ankle flexion, put a blanket. It's gonna be a lot easier underneath you. And then pause here. Lengthen the spine, press down to lift up. Then finding a little bit of extension and strength. Inhale takes the arms up. Exhale, hands to the back of the head. Inhale, elbows wide. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift elbows wide. Exhale, round. One more time. Inhale, lift elbows wide. Maybe arms wide. Arms up. And hands to the floor, forward fold. Then straighten those legs. Inhale, nice long spine. Exhale, fold. So here you might need a block depending on, you can widen your feet if you'd like. I'm gonna try and keep them about hip distance. And we're gonna work on that little twist or rotation in the upper back. So if you liked the wide leg version, you can do that step wide. You're gonna press down your left hand into the block and press your right hand to your right hip. Good, keep the length in the spine, and then just rotate that right shoulder up until you feel your pelvis start to move and pause. So we're using our core here. We're using those side muscles to lift. Now we're gonna add in the legs. Let that right hip shift to the right slightly, or sorry, yes, your right hip to your right. Maybe even that left leg bends to open the chest more. So allow the pelvis to move with you. Maybe right arm reaches up. Big inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, right hand to hip if it's not there. Exhale, back to floor. As you inhale, both hands to block or floor lengthen. Exhale. Right hand stays where it is, left hand to left hip. Lengthen out, long spine, and then exhale, start to rotate through the upper back. So use the core to twist. Draw in through the belly. Keep the neutral spine, so neutral hips to the floor. And then start to shift that left hip to the left. Maybe the right knee bends to open the chest more. So allowing the pelvis to move with the spine. Maybe left arm reaches. Big inhale there. Exhale. Good, inhale, left hand to hip if it's not there already. Exhale, rotate back to neutral. Take an inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Good, nice forward fold, your choice, legs wide or narrow. Folding forward here. Exhale fully. As you inhale, start to bend those knees. Come down to that low squat again. And then from here, we're going to come into transition into downward facing dog, right? So plant those hands, step it back, downward facing dog. You might want to strap for this next one. You have a couple options. So go ahead and come down to your knees to begin. Keep your toes tucked, sit back on your heels if it's appropriate for you. If you're going to use a strap and you want to loop your back foot, you have that as an option. If you have that strap, just make a little lasso loop for it. You have two options of grabbing your foot. If you want more of a back bend, so a little bit more extension of the spine, we're gonna reach overhead. If that's not gonna be there for you today, you can just reach back normally and still find that lift in your chest. Couple options for your legs. If you're feeling pretty open in your hips and you wanna take this pose for reaching back today in pigeon, you can do that, but I'm gonna instruct it from a low lunge. So you have either option. If you're feeling more open, pigeon. If you're pretty happy with low lunge, stay there, all right? So before you get there, take your left foot and lasso it with that strap. Get it up nice and close to the foot, and then bring that strap forward. Then strap the right foot forward. Again, you can pad up your knee, but if you can, get to the top part of your knee, more closer to your quadricep. Good, right elbow on your right thigh. And then you're gonna take your back foot, bend the knee, so your hand can get as close as you can to your foot. Good. Awesome. So you're grabbing there, you're finding a little quad stretch. Maybe this is where you are. You're like, I'm happy here, I'm gonna stay here. Maybe you grab the foot. If you're gonna go deeper, elbow comes into your side. You're gonna slide the strap so that your elbow can reach up. Good, so now that your elbow's up, lean back. If you have your balance, right hand grabs the strap, left hand grabs the strap, lift elbows up, and lean those hips forward. Good, resist hand and foot, or I should say strap and foot, by a nice opening of the chest. Good, chin lifts. Lengthen the neck, one more big inhale. Exhale. To release, let the strap slide slowly as the leg straightens. And then release down. Step it back, downward dog for a moment. And then come to the knees. And switch sides with your strap. So a nice big open extension of the spine. So again, if you're doing without the strap with arms coming overhead, you always have this reaching back with both arms and rolling the shoulders back. So you can hold onto that strap here, rolling back, finding the same lift and same openness, but without the shoulders. So strap goes nice and close down onto that bottom foot, or sorry, onto the right foot. Get it nice and close. Step your left foot forward. Good. And then start to bend that back knee. Good, you go. I like to rest my left forearm on my left thigh to begin for balance. Good, and then taking your hand as close as you can to your foot, keep your elbow in at your side, and then spin the elbow up. Good, once you're there, hips drop, find your balance, left arm can join, and then walk your hands down the strap to lift the elbows up. Imagine you're doing that forearm plank, elbows lift, tailbone drops. Chin lifts, finding that openness in the upper back, openness in the chest. Check in with your breathing. Good, one more big inhale here. Exhale. To release, slowly let that strap slide out as your foot releases. Hands come down. Step it back to downward dog briefly. Big inhale there. And then exhale, child's pose. As you're in child's pose, maybe release the strap. Take a few moments there. Arms can reach forward or back in your child's pose. Just notice that length coming forward. So now coming forward, a little bit of flexion of our spine. Slowing that heart rate down. Exhale fully. As you inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, shift the weight forward, bring those feet forward. Finding a forward fold, you have the choice if you would like wide legs, Upta Visha Konasana, or narrow legs, Paschimottanasana. So you have option of where you'd like to go today, what feels a little bit more tight. If your inner groins are a little bit more tight, maybe wide legs. If your outer hips and your hamstrings are a little bit more tight, maybe narrow legs. Sit up nice and tall, take a big inhale, and as you exhale, lengthen forward. Draw the shoulder blades onto the back first. Draw the low belly in. So find a little bit of extension through the spine, lengthen out. Press into the legs, inner thighs, draw down. Bend the knees if you need to get into the belly of the hamstring, right between your knees and your sit bones. And then on your next exhale, just let gravity take over. Let your shoulders kind of round forward and lengthen the top of your head toward your feet. Just kind of notice that sensation kind of there in the mid to low back. If it's too uncomfortable, just lift a little bit and breathe into it. Keep those legs active. Those kneecaps lifting toward your hips. Those heels pressing, toes drawing back. If your toes are accessible, maybe take your hands over the tops of your toes today. Continue to find that length in the spine. 2 more breaths here, really slowing it down. Exhale fully. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, back to center. Good, grounding down into those hands. And then lift your hips forward. If you have a block, this is going to be a lot easier for you. If you have a bolster or a rolled blanket, you can do that as well. But you're going to place that just at the tips of your shoulder blade. You're not going to have anything under your head because your hands are going to be there. So if you have a bolster, you can roll that up. You can fold a pillow, but so that you have something just under the tips of your shoulder blades. So the closest edge to your booty is right at your tips of your shoulder blades so that the block is then resting, the shoulder blades are resting on that block or the bolster. Good, ground the feet and then bring your hands behind your head. We're just gonna work a little bit more of that extension of the upper back. So open the elbows wide, lean the head back over the block. And just go as where you're comfortable. Once you feel that openness, pause there. Good, crawl into the low belly, take an inhale. As you exhale, round the spine, bring your elbows toward one another. Inhale, open up, go nice and slow. Pause for an exhale. Inhale here. And as you exhale, round up, chin to chest, elbows toward one another. Last time, inhale, opening up. Elbows wide. Keep the support of the neck. Exhale here. Take an inhale. And exhale, round. Good, keep that rounded position. Elbows or hands to the floor, slide that block out. And go ahead and lay down onto your back. Good, once you're there, just pause. Notice that sensation in the back. And then from here, we're going to go into a twist. So your choice of if you want to get a little bit more into the outer hips, you can do eagle legs. If you want to feel a little bit more deeper into your spine and really twist from the spine, do 2 legs. Whatever position you're going in first, shift your hips to the right. Draw both knees up if you're doing both legs like me, and then draw your knees to the left. See if you can draw those knees toward one another. Draw that right hip forward and down toward your heels, and then open the right arm. Taking that twist all the way into the neck, look over your right shoulder. And then let your breath become deeper and longer. Release any ujjayi breath. Allow gravity to take over with the twist. Your inhales, you'll find a little bit more expansion in the chest. And as you exhale, you might find a little bit more rotation. One more full inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, draw those knees back up to center. Exhale, feet to the floor, hips to center, pause. No rush to get to the other side, just notice the effects. And then shift the hips to the left. And then drawing both knees in, Let both knees drop to the right. Squeeze knees, squeeze ankles till you get to the ground. And then let that left shoulder be heavy. Lengthen your top hip down toward your heels, finding length in the spine as you breathe deep, and let that twist come naturally with gravity. Keeping a little energy in the legs, letting that left shoulder get heavier and heavier, maybe even look over that left shoulder. Two more breaths here. Exhale fully. Engage the core. Inhale, draws those knees up. Exhale, feet down, hips to center, pause. And then take a moment, scan of the body. If there's any other posture your body is craving for Shavasana, allow that to happen here. Maybe draw your knees in for a little happy baby. Instead of grabbing the pinky edges, see what it feels like to grab the heel edges and draw those knees wide. Couple deep breaths here. And then when you're ready, extending the legs up, giving them a shake. And then releasing feet to ground, extending legs out, using any props you need to under the thighs, under the hips, under the neck, maybe even covering the eyes. Getting out any little wiggles that you need to rest comfortably. I'm going to walk you through a little guided relaxation before a few moments of silence. Wherever you are in that breathing cycle, exhale fully. Take a full inhale, let the belly rise. Ribs expand, chest lift. Hold on to the breath for a moment. And then sigh it out. Letting yourself surrender into relaxation. Start to bring your awareness to all of those points that are in contact with the mat, with the floor. Starting with your legs, noticing those heels, calves, backs of your thighs, your outer hips or glutes, your sacrum, that low back, your mid-back, those points of those shoulders. Press into the elbows, draw the shoulder blades together just slightly. And then round your shoulders forward, and then let the shoulder heads drop. Just notice the effects of that. Noticing those parts of the arms that are on the floor, the backs of your hands, your forearms, elbows, the backs of your arms, and your shoulders. Noticing the back of your head on the floor. Just noticing all of those points at one time. Noticing all those points relax. Become heavier and more calm and relaxed as you continue to breathe. And bring your awareness to the tip of your nose. And just notice the breath entering and leaving the nose. Maybe you can continue to follow that breath as you inhale and notice the belly rise. And then you notice the belly fall and the sensation of air at the tip of your nose. Continue here for a few moments in silence, observing the breath, surrendering into Shavasana. I'll bring us out with 3 bells. Take rest. Feel free to stay here if this is feeling good and you want to restore a little bit more after the practice. If you're ending practice with the class, go ahead and start to bring some movement into the fingers and toes, maybe even your wrists and your ankles. Allow your breath to deepen. On your next breath, reach your arms back behind your head, slide your feet together, give yourself a long stretch. And then slowly bend the knees. Either windshield wipering those legs or hugging the knees into the chest, whatever is going to feel best to you right now. And then when you're ready, use your arm as a pillow, roll over to your favorite side and pause. Bringing back to mind that quote from the Dalai Lama today. While engaging in material progress and taking care of physical well-being, we need to pay equal attention to developing the peace of the mind. As you're ready, mindfully press yourself up all the way to seated. Keeping the eyes closed if you can. Once you've arrived in that seat, allow your hands to press in front of your heart center. Bring that intention back to mind as you bring yourself into the room, onto your mat, into your body. Noticing the sensations of the spine, of those areas connected to the spine. And allowing the strength, the energy, and the breath of this practice to help you as you transition from your mat into your day ahead. We'll seal everything in with one final Om or a sigh of the breath. Exhale fully. Take a nice full inhale. Bowing your head slightly. Taking a moment, think of one thing in your life that you truly are grateful for. And then holding on to that image in your mind's eye as you raise your head with a smile. Thank you for joining me today and taking good care of your spine, making it strong and long. Drink lots of water, eat your veggies, wear some sunblock. Namaste.